Where did you get the inspiration for your books?
Good question, Bruce. Will I go first or
Yeah,
you?
go for it.
The inspiration for my books, for A Place Called Perfect, came from these glasses that I found in an antique shop in Australia. And I put them on, and I was going to change the lenses because I wear glasses. They suit me. And I didn't. I carried them around with me in my backpack, and I began to think about the person who wore them before and all the things that they saw and did, and whether those things got locked in the glasses. And if I got rid of the glasses, I'd be getting rid of their memories, and that's where the idea came from.
And my book, so I've listened to different books that have been inspired by science before, like The Many Worlds of Albie Blight was inspired by quantum physics, and the Jamie Day equation is inspired by space. But with The Infinite Lives of Maisie Day, it started with a picture that just jumped into my head, and it was a picture of a girl standing at her front door and opening it up and seeing this infinite darkness outside. And I thought, what's happening there? And that's the spark that started the story.
Can you give us some advice for writing creepy books?
Ooh, you go for that first.
I don't know if I'm good for advice. For writing creepy books. Well, do you know, I never watch scary films, ever. I'm too afraid of them. So, I don't know, advice for creepy books? Maybe watch more scary films than I do, or just imagine what would make you afraid.
I think that's really good advice. I think think about what scares you. Because if you're writing want to write something that's scary, you've got to be able to scare yourself to be able to scare other people. I think I've got an older brother, and when you have an older brother, when you're growing up, you get to sneak into their bedroom when they're not there and read books you're not meant to. So I was reading books by Stephen King at the age of 9.
Jamie.
I think that's why I like scary books now.
What other authors would you recommend that write in the somewhat same theme as you?
Other authors that I'd recommend? Well, the ones that I love would be, and I'm not saying I write like them, but I think they're geniuses, like Roald Dahl or Neil Gaiman or these kind of people. They have amazing books, so I'd recommend all the Roald Dahls.
Same here. I mean, I was inspired. I remember when I was at school, the first author I ever met, because I used to think that books were made in factories, and one day Neil Gaiman appeared at my local comic book shop. So I took the day off school. Nobody knew I was taking the day off school. I think they call it wagging nowadays. But I took the day off school and I got the chance to meet Neil Gaiman. But that moment was the moment I saw him. I thought, he was just an ordinary person. He'd written these amazing stories. And I thought, that's what I'd love to do. I'd love to write stories. So Neil Gaiman, someone I'd really recommend. Yeah.
If your characters were asked, what does freedom mean to you, what would they say?
Well, in A Place Called Perfect, Violet has very little freedom. She's in a world that she's made to say and do whatever she's told by the Archer brothers. So I think it would be simple. It would be just to be able to say what she wants, freedom of speech, the freedom of movement, of play, of all of those things. I think that's what she'd look for.
And I think in The Infinite Lives of Maisie Day, I think Maisie would say kind of knowledge is freedom, because Maisie wakes up in her house and she's got this empty darkness outside and all her family have disappeared, and she needs to kind of find her way to freedom, and the way she does that is kind of using her knowledge of the universe to try and find what's happened to her family, what's happened to her and what's happened to the universe. So I think Maisie would say freedom is knowledge.